got That Was Jimmy on the blue team, Water Snake on that Alexstrasza, Everstorm on the Urel, Hit Dog on that Cassia, Pitchlock on the ETC, Bridge Keeper on that Hanzo.
Level 16 acquired, but here comes the Sabo coming out, and Grace gets just completely blown up. Johanna going to be taken down, and that was Jimmy just walking in and taking 3.
They are poking them out. One stun going out. This is might play right into their hands. A big corruption stack. Zagara gets deleted. Big fear on 3 members, putting Jaina in the opposite team fight. You know, I mean, they could say, yeah, we can wait for 20, or we can just win this game now.
Lightning Breath coming out, as well as Horrify, and Phoenix will be the first to die there again. Is Rice dying as well to Whitening? And Jaina losing her life as Spork tries to get out, but he's slowed basically everything unloaded onto Diablo.
They find her. That is a Pyro. Arthas will actually just rip Syndragosa into Scam. That's actually a really nice combo. Wit's trying to go in here, but dang, they're just going to get cleaned up. Don't have the level 10s. Can they make it 4? They just might. Indeed it is.
They start out 4-0.
Season 4 at Lubu, and yeah, that was Jimmy.
And that's GG. But that was Jimmy winning game 1.
On the right-hand side, we have Zul'jin Distillery. Down here at the bottom, we see Ankle Shot on the Jaina. Be Fresh will be playing the Grey Mane. Let a Star on Malfurion. Playing that Urel in the solo lane will be Cowboy Kyle. And the tank duty will be for the captain of this team as well, D-Wit.
The big stun onto Blue Scene. He has nowhere to go, the old man. The root, the damage. Say goodbye to Bancho because they have all been annihilated. This is a bloodbath.
There's the pick on the Sonya, leaving with the first reset here of this fight. Big arrow on the 2 members here. Murray and Bird forward. Stairwell Listen going to connect as well to buy some time. Iceman blows up along with that Lily.
Remember, Wood League only needs one of these to be converted, but without the hockey here, he's a little late. Horrify connecting on some, but look at that Ring of Frost. They get a double kill. Hanzo and Gul'dan are down, and it's Acheron backing up, getting that life binder from Alexstrasza. But topside, look at the Haka. Can Grey Mane get here in time? B-Fresh has to interrupt this, and does. Cavlor not able to convert it, as the pushback from running in it as well as a huge play of the game, but it's not enough, and it's converted by Zul'jin Distillery. So they're gonna get Thrall. He's dead as well. There's a Purification Salvo, and now you're really talking. If you're Wood League, this is exactly what you need, but they also have to kill the catapults. They're gonna start throwing some damage out, and with the catapult pressure here, ladies and gentlemen, the 2-0 tonight will go in favor of Zul'jin Distillery.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mystic Hots channel. I am your host, Mystic, and we have some more wonderful Division D East action here in the playoffs. We have number 3, that was Jimmy, taking on the upset Kings, number 7, Zul'jin Distillery, coming off the upset over number 2, Lubu in the first round. Of course, that was Jimmy taking the 2-0 over the Found Vikings in round number 1 as well. Both teams meeting here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Ready to roll, ready to make the fight to play face-off against the upset dogs on the top level. Number 4 United East getting the upset on number 1 Wood League in the match earlier this week. In fact, I believe it was last night. Wonderful games. If you missed those, go catch those over at 2D Moss's Twitch, as you saw in the preview video just before. 2D, those are wonderful videos. Thank you so much for providing those. Both teams, be sure to check those out when you get the chance. We're going to jump on in here. There's your nice little preview of the bracket. We're going to move right along here as both teams are getting antsy to play. And kick it off with the poetry. It's become a common thing here, in the playoffs at least. smack talking poetry, but this is a little different tonight. That was Jimmy feeling a little pressure here as they are running a sub. It was approved by both the mod and by the captain of Zul'jin Distillery. So they are running a sub, and their poem tonight kicks off with, "Our team is broken. We cannot win. With Tingzul out, we can't take out Zul'jin. But we've had one last trick stored up our hats. Bridge Creeper is bad. He dies to camps." Only one poem from each team tonight, so we're going to go move right along here into Zul'jin's. Everyone wants to know if That Was Jimmy even has a chance against old Zul'jini. Wildcard Weekend was just the beginning. Go ask Lubu about us winning. Don't you worry about who's the bee stepper. Zul'jin be the ones giving some pepper. So, as is the form of Division D East Smack Talk and Division D West and Division E as well, all having some fun with the Poetry Smack Talk. But let's keep it rolling here. It is about time to start this match. Here's your team previews for tonight. Missing from the side of That Was Jimmy is Everstorm. He is being replaced by Vardic, who is the off-roster sub that has been approved. But there's your preview. There's who they play. That Was Jimmy. Some little tidbits. Most played map is Tomb of the Spider Queen at an 80% win rate, played 5 times. During the regular season, they went 15-7 with a 65% win rate, and they've played a whopping 36 heroes out of their 20 recorded matches at the time of me pulling these stats. These are regular season stats, of course, and if you look at the side of Zul'jin Distillery, there's their most played heroes there. D-Wit becoming infamous for his stitches in the league. Their most played map 7 times on Volskaya with a 71% win rate. They finished the regular season at 12-10, 54% on the season. And, of course, winning Wildcard Weekend and pulling the upset on Lubu last week. They've played 29 heroes out of their 22 recorded games. As their heroes do go, on the side of That Was Jimmy, their number 1 picked hero and with the highest win rate is their Blaze. At 9 games played at 89% win rate. Secondary is Johanna, 8 games played, 87% win rate. So both of those tanks high priority for That Was Jimmy. We'll see how they are used tonight, especially with Everstorm being out. He is the Blaze player, as you see there. On the side of Zul'jin Distillery, their number 1 win rate hero is Leoric at a whopping 83%. He's only been played 6 games though. And Jaina is their most picked hero sitting at 60% on the year. These, of course, are heroes that have been played 5 or more games throughout the season. But ladies and gentlemen, let's move right on into the maps going on here tonight. We have Praxis Holdout being banned by That Was Jimmy. Infernal Shrines being banned out by Zul'jin Distillery. And That Was Jimmy opting to take first pick in the first game here. So our first map tonight will be on Tomb of the Spider Queen, picked up by Zul'jin Distillery. We're going to get the readies underway here, and once we do that, we will be kicking off game number 1. So going into this match tonight, both teams have been red hot going in here. Both teams looking really strong in round 1. Of course, Zul'jin just riding the high. They walked into Wildcard Weekend, 3rd in the rankings for the Wildcard season. Won it. And here they are, sitting pretty in round number 2. Teams are ready. We are going to get underway. So here we go.
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Down in the center, there will be a small preview of the map hopefully it's viewable enough as these teams get underway. Once again, That Was Jimmy will have first pick, so they will be banning first as well. Tomb of the Spider Queen, one of those maps, a lot of team fighting over the points to get those gem turns in. Of course, this map is very high priority on wave clear, as you have to clear out the archer minions, which in this case are mechanical spiders, that will drop gems. And they will bring you, or gems that you do bring, to two different points on the map, as you see right there on the list. Turn the gems in, get some giant spiders, and do what you can to push in the lanes all the way to that core. Multiple turn-ins can be done, back to back even, if you score the right number of gems. And underway in this draft here, we have Whitemane and Kerrigan banned out first by That Was Jimmy. Whitemane, of course, really powerful. Kerrigan just flat out broken right now. Deckard Cain and Johanna banned by Zul'jin Distillery, and That Was Jimmy snagging Azmodan instantly, not even waiting. They are going to have no access to Johanna, though, and Deckard Cain, another one prioritized here. So Azmodan coming out nice quick. This is probably one of his best maps. He's got great wave clear, he's got good lane pressure. And out comes Stukov and Nazebo. Zul'jin does have a plan coming into this map. They did play My Team Calculated Throw here, and it was a wallop. So will they be able to pull off what they have planned, and what does That Was Jimmy have up their sleeve for this map as well? It is their highest win rate map. As they sit here debating, they're going with Anna and Diablo. Alright, so we've got Mother Knows Best, two demons from the realm of Diablo. As we move over into the bans, neither team really showing too much, just wanting to get that early Azmodan pick on That Was Jimmy's side. As we wait out the ban from Zul'jin Distillery. And they're going to ban out Genji. Solid ban. Genji is very disruptive. He has played quite a bit by That Was Jimmy. And they're going to opt for the Garrosh ban. Interesting. So DeWitt's Stitches has made it through the draft. Let's see if they pick him up here. As they take their time planning out their strategy here. Do they have what they want available to them to do what they want to do? And does That Was Jimmy have everything they need? So here comes Leoric and Tychus. No Stitches yet from Zul'jin. Wanting to make sure that he works at the end there. Stitches is one of those tanks where the picks are great, unless they can get right back out of it. So That Was Jimmy looking for an answer here. Tychus is great against the double front line, which That Was Jimmy is known for. They do go with Gul'dan and Varian. So good lockdown. I expect taunt out of Varian. Gul'dan probably with the fear. And Azmodan's going to play a slow, steady game. And get those stacks up as quickly as he can. And if you're Zul'jin Distillery, you want to be quickly turning this map around, and there it is. Sporting the Christmas skin, we've got Stitches on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Teams are going to swap their items now. This map, the longer it goes on, both teams have a strong late game hero in Azmodan and Nazebo. On the side of Zul'jin, it's all going to be about whether or not they get that Stitches-Nazebo combo, which I have personally experienced quite a few times. If they are able to get that Stitches-Zul'jin combo, That Was Jimmy could be in some trouble. Of course, you do the hook into the wall, and then later on you have Leoric's and Tomb following up right behind it. But here we go, we're going into match number 1. Game number 1 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen between That Was Jimmy, ranked number 3, versus number 7 Zul'jin Distillery. And ladies and gentlemen, let me know who you think is going to win this match here in game number 1. Who is going to take it? Who will take the 1-0 lead going into this? How many different ways can I say it? This should be an exciting match. Both teams red hot. As the map is taking its time loading in. There it goes. We are underway. Here we go. On the side of that was Jimmy. We have Bridgekeeper on Gul'dan, Hit Dog on the Azmodan, Water Snake on the Anna, Vardic playing the Diablo. And we have Dresden on Varian. On the side of Zul'jin Distillery, we have Let Astaire on Stukov, Be Fresh on the Tychus, DeWitt on his Stitches, Cowboy Cowl on the Leorc, and Nutcracker on the Nazebo. There are the Zul'jin sprays. These teams are getting going.
Let the battle begin.
And we are underway. Both teams just sort of saying hello. Moving back and forth here. Typical early game. DeWitt's going to hook a minion here early on. And we are underway here. Immediately, Nutcracker in some trouble. Getting a stone from Diablo, but nothing's going to come of it. Diablo's the one trapped now. He's silenced. He's trapped by a wall. Vardic walking away as quickly as he can. Down to 300 health. He's able to get out just barely as the teams begin their split. Zul'jin is surely going to kick it right off here. Start the 4-man rotation between top and bottom. That was Jimmy doing the same, but opposite of the teams. And Varian and Leorc will be dancing into the bottom lane, doing that solo lane tango. Early talent picks here. We've got Echoed Corruption from the Gul'dan. Azmodan going with Wrath. And Anna with the Sleep Dart quest, Piercing Darts. Nazebo opting for Pandemic on the Frogs. Feeded Touch on the Stukov. And your generics throughout the rest. Slam build on the Stitches. Press the advantage on Tychus. And Consume Vitality on Leorc. With Varian going Overpower and Anna going Piercing Darts. Which said Feast on Fear. Oh, there's the hook from Stitches. Diablo's going to be able to get out of it, though. The wall just barely missing. And Azmodan already sitting at pretty at 38 stacks. Nazebo sitting at 3 of his. And Gul'dan at 6. Another big hook from DeWitt. The wall goes down again. It just barely misses the Gul'dan. So Bridgekeeper barely getting out of there. The wall just a second too late. So you see what Zul'jin has up their sleeve now. That was Jimmy has seen it. Let's see how they answer it. Down the bottom lane, Dresden and Cowboy Cow going at it, back and forth, living versus the dead. We do have the taunt from Varian, so that will be his ultimate, which he gets at level 4 to help do that multi-class thing that he does somewhat well. Both teams pretty much dead, even in experience. Both teams right around the same amount of gems. There's another big hook onto Bridgekeeper. He's going to barely avoid that wall again. But the silence is slow on the Diablos, taking him down pretty quick. Nutcracker just a hair too late on those walls right now. Once they get that in sync, Gul'dan could be in some trouble. And I completely forgot. So Zojin getting the early turn in here. The first to 55 on their side. Only need 50 to turn in first. And they get 18 of those turned in as Jimmy able to get the interrupt. Cowboy Cow down here trying to turn in now, and he's jumped quickly by Diablo and Varian. He's trying to Wraith Walk out of there. He's going to be able to get away. But meanwhile, at the top, Zojin getting the turn-ins. They're up to 40 out of 50, but 48 out of 54 is... That was Jimmy. All Asmodean's got to do is walk on in here and drop those off.
Red team, you have done well. My magic is yours. Descend, my daughters. Descend and destroy the blue team.
So we got some combat going up in here in the top lane, as it is Zojin that gets the first turn in. I apologize for the little delay there. They're going to be pushing top lane hard. Goldan cleaning up the mid. Variant going to be handling the bottom. Our pole is not working. But Zildjian Distillery going to get this front wall down really quick here. Working on that fort. Not much going in the middle. Walls, towers down at the bottom as well. Big hook from the Stitches. The wall just barely missing the Asmodean again. My goodness. Zojin just a little off sync here, but Bridgekeeper dropping really low. Be Fresh is low as well. Verdict getting a little aggressive there. They're able to drive it off. They do lose the top fort. On the side of that was Jimmy. But they only need a quick turn in to turn things right back around here.
Gather their gems. Bring them to me. Do this now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you why the poll's not working, but it did come out 50-50. There it goes. 50-50 is the votes. We are underway here. Both teams rotating around. The top lane pressure from the first set of spiders does put, that was Zildjian Distillery 2 level 10 first. Those ults are coming online here. But Asmodean sitting at a whopping 177 stacks already. We're only 7 minutes into this. The Zebo is only at 10 of 40 on the Frosby. He is at 101 stacks for Voodoo Ritual. Ults on the side of Zildjian Distiller. We've got Gargantuan from the Zebo. Putrid Bile from the Stitches. Commander Odin from Tychus. Massive shove from the Stukov, and we have a disconnect here. We will start the timer. That is unfortunate. Hit Dog is dropped. And we have Entomb coming out of Leoric. So here in the early game, Zildjian keeping the pressure up really well. They did get that nice early first tower, but they're not that was Jimmy not giving up too much on their side. Just got to get to 10, and this match turns into a very interesting thing. So Hit Dog is here. Let's get the readies. There it is. CDG waiting on their ready. Counting them down. Here we go. We're back in action here. I do agree, Nazeeba, you don't have to get them in the wall. Just block them with the wall. Diablo about to complete his first Black Soulstone here. Goldan sitting at 33 stacks of Echoed Corruption. 9 on the Future Vow. There's the hook. There's the wall to zone him out. Hit Dog is dropping low dangerously fast. He's going to go down first. We have first blood coming from the side of Zildjian Distillery. They finally get the combo to work the way they wanted to, as ults do come online for That Was Jimmy and the turn-in. So we have spiders coming down from the side of That Was Jimmy now. For their ults, they've got the Horrify on Gul'dan, Tide of Sin on Azmodan, Warbringer from the Varian, Lightning Breath from Diablo, and Nano Boost coming out of Nana, and poor Azmodan dropping at 199 when he died. Zul'jin opting to rotate top first to clear that out. That was Jimmy pushing the mid lane. And Leoric has taken the bottom lane here. I missed that, and he did get that bottom fort. So that bottom spider's not going to have much work there. So good pressure in that bottom lane from Leoric. Keeping the pressure up. And that was Jimmy not going to get much out of these spiders. Only getting the towers and wall. But they are going to get Leoric. A little bit of hesitation there. Azmodan does complete his Wrath quest. At the 8-minute mark, he is at 200 stacks of Annihilation exactly. And then the pole didn't want to go away. I apologize. Both teams back to the grind here. Zul'jin sitting at 40 out of 55 for their next turn in. They are going to get it right here. There's not much. Oh, beautiful fire stump from the Diablo. He does hit every single one of them. Stitch is just barely missing the hook. And that was Jimmy doing what they can to interrupt this. There's a big Horrify. Lurik has the wall down into him on Bridgekeeper. Dresden is low. Dresden dropping very quick. He's staying alive at the moment. Great heals from Anna. He finally does fall. Azmodan getting the dunks off. Vardik is next on the list for Zul'jin as he continues to drop. Anna falling low as well. Vardik drops. Down goes the Anna. Gul'dan dangerously low as well as Tychus is following him in that Odin. And Zul'jin Distillery looking good here. Setting up 4 kills to 2 as they get their second turn in. And so Zul'jin Distillery pushing here in the bottom lane. Let's check up on those quests as 13 is online for ZGD. Big dunk coming from the Azmodan though, and he's going to start hurting here as this continues on. D-Wit getting flipped over the wall and he goes down immediately. But good damage coming out from the side of ZGD. As they do manage to drive back the aggression just a little bit. Jimmy is going to take this bottom spider as they rotate up. Another big dunk coming from Azmodan. About a quarter of B-Fresh's health there. He is sitting at 279 now. With Tide of Sin, that does some good damage, and it's only going to get worse. So that was Jimmy getting a good hold here. And still keeping that middle fort. Just got to worry about that top spider. Which it looks like they are debating. Top towers are down. That spider's still pushing. Entomb going down on the Diablo. He's hooked. There's a big Horrify that's going to get him out of there. He's able to charge into the gazebo to help himself. Here comes the Lightning Breath. Here comes the Odin. Ults are going down everywhere. Dresden low on health on the Varian. Backing out. But there's another hook onto the Gul'dan. He is trapped this time. Zoned out completely. Down he goes. Vardik and Dresden doing what they can to buy their team some time. Down goes the Diablo. And 2 more kills on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Just making that Stitch's Gazebo combo work so well. Big dunk from Azmodan nearly takes Tychus with him. With it. And that top keep they're down to half health. Azmodan finally rotating up to clean it up. Zul'jin Distillery taking their bruiser camp here. Gazebo heading down to the siege camp. And that middle fort finally fell. Zul'jin getting in position. They don't quite have the gems yet, but neither does that was Jimmy. Another big dunk coming out of Azmodan. Slam stitches. Azmodan taking Brutish Vanguard there at 13. Gul'dan with the hunger for power this game. That's a little rough with an Ana. She can heal you all she wants. It's not going to do as much. And look at this. Zul'jin setting up in the top. Big hook from the Stitches. Bridgekeeper is there. Entomb down. Blocks off Diablo and Varian. They are dropping quick. But the damage is coming out. There's Lightning Breath. Down goes Stukov. Down goes Varian. Down goes Diablo. And there's just blood everywhere. No front line left for that was Jimmy. So they are going to retreat as quickly as they can. They do draw some blood. And they get the middle fort during that fight. So Azmodan's damage is ramping up here. Sitting at 390, he's going to be at 400 very soon. No doubt he'll take the hero damage at 16, which is on line 4. Zul'jin, as you saw, that fishing hook coming out of the Stitches. So Leo getting another 10 turned in, but both teams a little low on the gems. Well, Zul'jin's up to 49 now, so they're going to make their rotation down. Here comes another turn in. That was Jimmy not ready for it, not able to defend. They need 16 before this hits. And DeWitt sees him. He's getting lined up. Hook incoming. 3. No. All right. So Zul'jin needing 3 more. They do get it from Leoric at the top there. So here comes another wave of the objective. Vardic is hook again. This time he's trapped in the wall, but Diablo able to get out of there. Charging through a zombie. Through the tomb, it seems like. So Zul'jin making a push middle. Big Horrify coming out there. And Leo's stuck in the back line. He is able to Wraith walk away. And DeWitt dropping the Christmas goo, complete with snowflake animation. So Zul'jin making it hard for DeWitt is flipped over the wall there. There's Lightning Breath. They're just going to burn him down. So 1 down on the side of Zul'jin. Leoric dropping low as well, able to back away. There's a ping to retreat. I have to agree with Chad there. Get those nano boosts on the Azmodan. Get those dunks out as fast as you can. Top keep is down. Spider pushing the core. Azmodan with total annihilation there. Ana only at 12 of her 20 darts. Really going to need that piercing darts there. With these hooks and the way that the front line is being isolated, she needs to finish those sleeping darts. It's kind of hard to get to Zul'jin though. They're playing behind their Stitches. She's going to have to get creative. Might have liked to see the grenade quest after with what they have here. So Zul'jin now at their 56, finally getting close to their second turn in. Diablo getting walled off again by Nazeebo. Be Fresh going down quick. Darian diving in deep. Gets the Gul'dan gets the corruption kill there. Nutcracker low as well. So Zul'jin having to back up, but Stitches isn't done. There's a snag on Dresden. But that was Jimmy going to get this turn in finally. Get their second spiders up his Gul'dan's going to hearth back to clean up bottom lane. Need those last few. There's 2 coming out of Ana. They still need 3 more. And Zul'jin's back. Varian getting picked up, pulled out again. Big sleep coming out of Ana there, though. Gonna buy some time for her team, and Jimmy's gonna look to rotate bottom. They should have just went ahead and did that turn in immediately. Big globe coming out of Stitches. Another big dunk. Lettuce stared down, and down goes Stukov. Big Horrify coming out. Varian stuck in the zombie wall, but Lightning Breath has something to say about the escape coming from Zul'jin. Entomb used the zone out as well. Very nice use of the Entomb to just buy his team some extra time there. But the hook on the Diablo, he's going to walk away scot-free, taking only a little bit of damage. So finally some spiders coming to the aid of That Was Jimmy. They're going to push this middle lane. Top and bottom are going to be used simply to relieve some pressure. And this front wall going down quick. Zul'jin's still waiting on a healer to come up. And we're going to have a keep possibly... Oh, D-Wit just barely missing the hook there. Bridgekeeper just barely avoiding it. Down goes a keep. And That Was Jimmy is right back in this now. That he pulled up even in XP, even in levels. Unfortunately, only getting the middle lane, but they have taken a keep, just as Zul'jin has. Just need to work on some forts. So Zul'jin still has better property value at the moment. 4 buildings to 2. There's a hook onto the Varian. Gotta get around that zombie wall before anything happens, and level 20 is online. 4, That Was Jimmy, and interesting enough, Asmodan going with Blackpool over Pride. I would like to see Pride. That extra damage is just so good when you're fully stacked. We've got Haunt coming out of the Asmodan, or the Gul'dan, which already does an armor reduction as it is. Flagpole's just going to add to that. Demoralizing Shout from the Varian. Hellgate out of Diablo, and the healing nano infusion from the Annas. That Was Jimmy finally going to fall back. And they're going to go down here to these Giants. Both teams only at 25 gems or so. So level 20 is on line now for Zul'jin Distillery. Nazebo finishing his stacks goes with Vile Infection. Potent Bile from Stitches. Sizzling Attacks from Tychus. Top off from the Stukov, and Buried Alive from Leoric. Oh man, that is going to be dangerous if he gets a multi-man Entomb. Yeah, interesting choice there on the Blackpool. I don't hate it. Blackpool, it does have its uses. It is a good ult if you can keep them locked down into the armor reduction. Their core under attack, but just some catapults with some minions in the way. Not going to do too much. But Pride plus Nano Boost, plus a Horrify armor reduction. Ooh, that would have been some nice dunks coming out as well. But look at that. Big dunk and big corruption right out the gate here. Here comes the Lightning Breath. Tychus is already down. Down goes Leoric. He did get the Entomb down. But Diablo was able to pop that Lightning Breath before it hit. Nazebo Poison taking down Diablo. Both teams fully online here. These last team fights are going to be very fun, very bursty. That Was Jimmy opting for the boss. Cowboy Kyle has seen it. And here comes Zul'jin. They are down 2 people, but one good hook on the Anna into the wall. That's going to spell the end of Anna. Straight into the Stukov silence. Dresden is going to drop down as well. He has nobody to top him off. The Zul'jin Poison does it. I'm sorry, not Zul'jin. Nazebo. Zul'jin Distillery Poison. And just like that, oh, Asmodan is stuck. Another big hook from Stitches. Down goes Gul'dan, and just like that, a 3-5 to 5-1 as the rest of the Zul'jin comes online. Vardic having to back up, and Zul'jin can push to win here. What can Vardic do at this point? Top yourself off and just go nuts. You don't have the Lightning Breath just yet. 8 seconds. Oh, good flip. No long Lightning Breath. This is it. Zul'jin with the final team fight is going to take game number 1. It goes to Zul'jin Distillery. What a game, number one. That final team fight, very well played by Zul'jin. They turn it around. Perhaps Jimmy getting a little greedy there, getting a little aggressive, getting caught on the boss and not backing out fast enough. Here's your final stats here. Look at the numbers out of Gul'dan. 210,000 siege damage, 81,000 hero damage. Azodan with the top soak for Jimmy. Varian and Diablo, 180,000 tanking. And Anna with a nice 73,000 healing. Nazebo with top siege and damage on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Stukov with 90,000 healing and 140,000 damage soaked by Stitches and Leoric with 15,000 XP soak. Coming out of Leoric on Cowboy Cal. So final kill count here, 14 for Zul'jin Distillery. 9 on the side of that was Jimmy with a game time of 23:02. We are going to be jumping in to a small break here as we prep up for game number 2. The Zul'jin Distillery leading 1-0. Stand by. Enjoy the music.
On the right-hand side, we have Zul'jin Distillery. Down here at the bottom, we see Ankle Shot on the Jaina. Be Fresh will be playing the Grey Mane. Let a Star on Malfurion. Playing that Urel in the solo lane will be Cowboy Kyle. And the tank duty will be for the captain of this team as well, D-Wit.
The big stun onto Blue Scene. He has nowhere to go, the old man. The root, the damage. Say goodbye to Bancho because they have all been annihilated. This is a bloodbath.
There's the pick on the Sonya, leaving with the first reset here of this fight. Big arrow on the two members here. Murray very forward. Stairwell Listen going to connect as well to buy some time. Iceman blows up along with that Lily.
Remember, Wood League only needs one of these to be converted, but without the Haka here, he's a little late. Horrify connecting on some, but look at that Ring of Frost. They get a double kill. Hanzo and Gul'dan are down, and it's Acheron backing up, getting that life binder from Alexstrasza, but topside, look at the Haka. Can Grey Mane get here in time? B-Fresh has to interrupt this and does. Cavlor not able to convert it as the pushback from running in it as well as a huge play of the game, but it's not enough, and it's converted by Zul'jin Distillery. So they're gonna get Thrall. He's dead as well. There is a...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into game number 2. It is being picked by Zul'jin as that was Jimmy opting to take first pick yet again. We are going to be going to Dragonshire. For those of you just joining in, Zul'jin did take game number 1 on the side of Tomb of the Spider Queen. So the wild card underdogs showing some bite yet here again as they take game number 1 from that was Jimmy. Can they make it a 2-0 sweep, or will the number 3 team here come in and do what they need to do to take this to a game number 3? Personally, I want to see a game number 3. Those are always exciting, so we'll see what happens here as we are getting the readies from the team. We will be jumping right into this. As soon as we get the ready from the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Waiting on Zul'jin to let me know that they are ready, then we will be jumping right into this. So game number 1. Those Stitches hooks were on point. Took a little bit to get the combo going, and once it was, things started looking good for Zul'jin Distillery, but that was Jimmy getting the fast Aswa stacks, getting right into this. And they were able to turn it around, almost get the map swinging back in their favor, and then one bad team fight, one excellent hook onto the Ana over at the bus, and Zul'jin Distillery finished the brawl, down 2 heroes when it started, and they went on to win it, pushing all the way to the core from that point, and taking game number 1. So White Main Band coming out from that was Jimmy here immediately. From that was Jimmy. Zul'jin Distillery looking for their first ban here. And I agree with Chet. You cannot let Zul'jin get that Stitches, especially on that map. That is a specialty of theirs. And there goes the Azmodan ban from Zul'jin Distillery, getting the respect that he deserves, rightfully so, with the stacks. And this is another great map for him with the tight little points that have to be captured by both teams in order to get control of the dragon, a vehicle map. And just a reminder, Brightwing is banned on this map due to vehicle bugs. And there's the respect to the Stitches. D-Wit getting the respect ban, as Stitches does not get to play this time. Johanna being banned again by Zul'jin Distillery. So here we go. First pick coming out on the side of that was Jimmy, and it's going to be Kerrigan as she slips through the draft. And so Deckard and Garrosh going to be the first picks out of Zul'jin Distillery here. So who's that was Jimmy going to follow up the Kerrigan with? That was Jimmy is known for a strong stunlock combo game. Here comes the Dehaka. He's going to be great for bouncing around between those lanes. Who are they going to follow it up with? Alex Straza. Liking the picks on both sides so far. How does Zul'jin answer the Dehaka Alex Straza call with that Kerrigan? They're going to need some more lockdown. And Brightwing, one of the best Kerrigan counters, is not available here on Dragonshire due to healing bugs within the vehicle. Brightwing also recently reworked, has not seen as much of her. Her healing numbers are a little bit low, but her utility is insane, especially with that polymorph build. Getting the resets on the poly and just chain polying your team, it's like having a deadly Medivh, bloodthirsty Medivh I should say, following you around at all times. So Diablo banned from Zul'jin Distillery. He's another good, very good map of his here. Very small places to fight, lots of walls. And Sergeant Hammer banned out by That Was Jimmy. They must have watched last week. They saw what Lubu had done to them on Dragonshire last week and immediately outgoes the Hammer. Garrosh and Deckard were a part of that combo as well, if I recall. So here we go. What does Zul'jin Distillery do now? No doubt that was the plan they had in motion. Raynor and Yarel. I like it. Okay, here comes a Kel'Thuzad out of... That Was Jimmy? Oh my goodness. ETC? Oh boy. Are we going to get a mosh into Kel'Thuzad ult with some Kerrigan cleanup? I hope so. Alright, Zul'jin Distillery looking for an answer. Kerrigan was slightly nerfed, but she is still a very dangerous hero right now. And it's going to be Genji. He's going to be looking to get into that back line. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The second draft is underway. I have to give it to Zul'jin Distillery, provided they can get Kel'Thuzad online as fast as they did that Azmodan, and this could look very deadly very fast. But if Genji is on point, getting those cleanups, it could spell trouble for Alex and Kel'Thuzad. How do these teams handle those drafts? How will they do it? Here we go, diving right in. Let me know who you think is going to win in the poll as soon as it activates. Diving right into game number 2 on Dragonshire. Garrosh, if he can get some good picks and isolate Kerrigan far enough back that she can be blown up, could spell trouble for her as well. Jimmy with some good knockback. But this draft, if Kel'Thuzad is on point, if Bridgekeeper can land those combos, Kerrigan and Kel'Thuzad, in my experience lately, have been a very strong duo. So here we go. Bridgekeeper is going to be on the Kel'Thuzad, Hit Dog on the Kerrigan, Vardic is on ETC, Dresden on Dehaka, and Watersnake on Alex Straza. Moving over to the side of Zul'jin Distillery, we've got Fresh on the Genji, Deckard being played by Led Astaire, Raynor on the being played by Nutcracker, Cowboy Kyle on the Yarel, and Dewit on the Garrosh. Here's your level 1 talents. We've got Chains out of Kel'Thuzad, Prog Rock out of ETC, Warbreaker from Garrosh, and I believe that is all the quests unless we see what is coming out of Dehaka here. He's still holding. Early chain there, so Kel'Thuzad getting a first stack. Throw from the Garrosh. Vardic dropping quick already, but he's going to be able to get away. Great healing from the Alex there. 2 chains out of Kel'Thuzad. 3, 4. Another throw on the ETC. And finally, tissue regeneration coming out of Dahaka. Those of you in chat, Vardic is playing the All Night 4. That was Jimmy. They are missing somebody tonight. They only have a 5-man roster. So he is an off-roster sub, filling in. Kerrigan with a great pull into the sun. Kel'Thuzad following it up immediately. Down goes Jimmy. But Garrosh with the throw onto Vardic again. But immediately you see that Kerrigan Kel'Thuzad combo chain into the pull, into the frost, into the Kerrigan stuff. Genji looking in trouble now as he is alone in the middle lane. Kel'Thuzad already at 8. He needs at least 15 for the spike, 30 to be at full power. Here comes the pull. Dahaka and Yarel doing the solo lane tango. Got another fight brewing in bottom lane. ETC just hanging out in the bush. We will hide the pole momentarily while y'all fill it out. We will check back in on that soon. Yes, Luca, I am a fan of Kel'Thuzad. You're correct. But him and Kerrigan, a pretty scary duo. A lot of lockdown. And the first Dragon Knight does go to Zul'jin Distillery as they sneak in the bottom shrine there, as that was Jimmy was taking the camp. So Zul'jin getting the camp, getting the dragon. We are underway. Kel'Thuzad opting for the phylactery here. 6 stacks of prog rock for ETC, 9 for the Kel'Thuzad. That dragon's going to be a nice big target to rack up some stacks for KTZ. And Zul'jin is pushing this bottom lane here hard and fast. Another big throw, and then ETC is punted away. So he's just absolutely removed from the fight completely. But Kerrigan getting the damage out. This was Zul'jin's map pick. That was Jimmy opting for first pick again. So Zul'jin is going to get this bottom fort here with the first dragon. And that's really good pressure with a 3-minute dragon. Urel is all alone up top now. All 5 of that was Jimmy down here in the bottom. And we have lost Vardic, so we're going to have a brief pause here. More than likely. Nope, he's right back in the game. Oh, Thor getting that last second miss on the voting. So down here in the bottom lane. Around the Haka still dancing, but the camp fight down here, but here comes, that was Jimmy. So Kel'Thuzad is at 18 of his stacks, so he is almost there. As Jimmy did steal that. There's the spike, there's the chain, there's the root. And here comes Kerrigan. There's a zone out by ETC, and down goes Deckard. And that's what I was talking about with the Kerrigan and the KTZ. Chain into root, into Kerrigan's root. And then they can't escape from the pool, and she just cleans them up. If they can keep that combo going, this could be very strong in their favor. We do not have Pinball Wizard out of ETC. 22 stacks for Kel'Thuzad now. Another chain, another root. Kerrigan get the stun. There's the pull. Down goes Jimmy. That was Jimmy getting the kill on Jimmy. Raynor. So both shrines in favor. Oh, nope. Zul'jin taking the top shrine as Genji and Yarel fighting the Dahaka top lane. That was Jimmy keeping the pressure up on bottom lane. Oh my gosh. There. Map going a little crazy there. Another chain from the Kel'Thuzad. He's sitting at 24 stacks. You take first pick if you think you can get Kerrigan. That's the only thing I can think of here. Clearly they had a plan with that. It's working in their favor at the moment. So once again, the poll is being a pain in the butt. It was 66% voting for that was Jimmy. Fans of the Kerrigan showing up here in strength. And there we go, another blow up. On to Genji this time. Garrosh is falling right next. And 2 kills again to the side of that was Jimmy. They're up 5 kills to nothing at the moment. Though they are down to 4, it's not going to be that way very long as they get the Dragon Knight. And Kel'Thuzad just 3 stacks away from a nice early stack. He does finish his phylactery quest, so he's going to be healing off of his spells as well. That was Jimmy making the push in the middle lane. Level 10's online for both teams here. We've got the Shadow Fisher coming out of Kel'Thuzad. We've got Mosh Pit coming out of ETC. We've got Maelstrom from Kerrigan. Isolation from Dahaka and Lifebinder from Alex Straza. So that's what I was looking for there, the Mosh Pit, to follow everything up and just prep them just perfectly for Kel'Thuzad and Kerrigan. Can they put it to good use? We will see. On the side of Zul'jin Distillery, though, we've got Ardent Defender, Warlord's Challenge, X-Strike, Stay a While and Listen for the lockdown on their side with Raynor's Raider. The nice little Banshee pet. Sleep into Taunt into X-Strike is going to be just as devastating as the combos available too. That was Jimmy. Let's see how these teams utilize it. It's going to come down to who can get the better lockdown and finish. Vardic is getting rooted. He's taunted there. And down he goes, getting caught out by the Garrosh. And just for Hector, we're going to pop the top lane for a second. Alright, back to the action. Bottom lane being cleaned up by Zul'jin. That was Jimmy cleaning up middle. Zul'jin opting for their bruiser camp. And Yorel and Dahaka still doing their thing. ETC is back up on the side of that was Jimmy. Vardic doing the right thing, being the one who gets picked off on the throw by Garrosh as he is the tank, but he's got to be ready to, be able to get out of there. That taunt was perfectly timed. And then the follow-up from Zul'jin was beautifully executed there. 13 is coming online for that was Jimmy. Kel'Thuzad's still missing that 1 stack. 1 stack is all it takes. Got Chains of Ice slowing from the chains as well. So more control coming out of that was Jimmy. 13 coming online shortly. Kerrigan throwing this time. She's taunted. She's rooted. And she's going to blow up. Nothing there to be done. Vardic going to miss the mosh pit. Kel'Thuzad throwing out a spike to ward people off. If nothing else, that spike means stay away. But Kel'Thuzad's still looking for that final stack. Genji keeping an eye on the middle here. As both shrines go in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. Kel'Thuzad rotating up. Gonna go help Dahaka with Yorel. And so that was Jimmy gonna have to hold down the middle, but Varda getting flipped again. And the dragon is picked up once again, but in the top lane, Yorel gonna leap out with the use of Ardent Defender and her leap. Big combo coming out of the Kel'Thuzad. Beautifully done. So Dragon Knight having to drop back to try to help pull people off here. And that was Jimmy is out for blood. They're not going to let them get away. Dragon is popped. But Alex is just punted away. Here comes the stay while. Doesn't hit anybody. very, very good hold from That Was Jimmy this time around, getting blood as well. Still up 6-2 on the kills. Real Estate is dead even at this point as Middle Keep is down, or Fort, sorry, is down for Zildjian Distillery. Zildjian grabbing their camp. That was Jimmy grabbing the bottom bruiser camp. Gonna push in with it here. Kel'Thuzad is done with this quest. Not landing a combo that time as Decker's getting the slows. The Haka flip this time, but he does manage to get out. Here's the mosh pit. There's the root. Down goes Garrosh. Down goes Jimmy as the ult follow-up wastes away the damn health there from Kel'Thuzad, and then Kerrigan and Dahak able to just clean it up. And that was Jimmy keeping the pressure up in this bottom lane. Big root out of Decker there, but not much to be followed up on as he's just going to toss his potions out and give people some drinks. Genji tossing out his shurikens, trying to whittle him away. And that was Jimmy going to opt to back out as the shrines are coming up in 20 seconds. Going to beeline straight for their siege camp. They have level 16 online. The Haka makes his way towards top. Yrel headed up there as well. Genji scouting things out. Giants are grabbed by That Was Jimmy.
The dragon awaits, heroes. Free him and destroy your enemy.
And an attempt to hide in the bush there, but they gotta gather up outside of it due to Kel'Thuzad blocking everybody. There they go. Varda getting a position. Bottom shrine in favor of blue. Dahaka dragging Yrel all the way to the tower. She's gonna leap out, unaware that Genji is nearby, but he should notice that he's not visible on the map yet. Here he comes, leaping in. So we're gonna have the top lane tussle again. Dahaka getting another grab on the Yrel, getting her all the way to the tower. She's gonna pop Ardha Defender again to get out. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, I think the top was more exciting though. Let's go back. I was wrong. So that was Jimmy rotating middle here. Need to keep an eye on that bottom shrine as they begin the rotation up. Looks like they're going to go up to pressure that top lane very, very hard. Kerrigan, Kel'Thuzad all there. Daka stepping onto the point. Going to go ahead and change that into their favor as the bottom one goes in the favor of Zildjian Distillery. And now becomes the shrine dance here in the late game. Which team's going to get the 2 to 3 kills to gain prioritization, gain control of one of the shrines, where they can make the rotation both bottom and mid, or top and mid, to take the dragon. So Zildjian doing some work here. I'm sorry, That Was Jimmy doing some work here, pushing in on this top fort as Zildjian is doing work on their keep. Doing work on their camp. I am wonderfully doing well here. Another fort down 4. That was Jimmy. Giants and Bruisers grabbed by Zildjian Distillery. And here we go. Zildjian is rotated up to the top. As That Was Jimmy is taking their Bruiser camp. Dahaka all alone here. He sees all the orange and red coming his way. There's the shrine. Kerrigan's waiting at the middle just in case as Garrosh makes his way there. The rest of That Was Jimmy getting in line there. Interrupted by beautifully done combo there. Big chain. There's the follow-up again. Down goes Garrosh. Deckard is nearby as well. Cowboy Cow on that backline though, doing everything he can to keep Kel'Thuzad out of the fight, but down goes Deckard. Yrel popping the Ardent Defender here. Gonna leap out to safety. Genji getting away as well. Jimmy mounting up and heading off. So very well done fight there on the side of That Was Jimmy. That's what they needed there. Now they're gonna split. Kel'Thuzad heading bottom to clean up. Yrel watching the bottom lane. Dahaka grabbing the top lane there. More going on. There's another pull into the stun on Kerrigan. Again, down goes Genji. Tic-tac-toe. Kel'Thuzad all alone in the bottom lane, though. That's not good for him. He gets the chain on Yrel. He's going to go down, though. Bridgekeeper caught all alone. Here comes Dresden to help. Dahaka burrowing down immediately. Jimmy is back online. Or Garrosh is back up. Deckard is back up, but Genji's still down. So 4v4 here in the bottom lane. ETC getting the slide in, getting the push. Cowboy Cal locked down as well. Garrosh getting the slam there. He does finish his quest. Warbreaker is done, so Groundbreaker is going to have a reduced cooldown when it's used. But 2 more kills on the side of that was Jimmy. They've hit level 20. They're going to take that bottom shrine, and here we go. Their first dragon of the match, as we have the damned return from Kel'Thuzad. Taking the shade for that extra death and decay. Storm Shield out of ETC for the extra support. Assimilation Blade coming out of Kerrigan. Contagion coming from Dahaka. Going to get that mass blind and silence. And Blessing of the Red from Alex Strauza. Going to buff up her front line. So down 2 levels here. Zul'jin's got to pull off some kind of defense here. Here goes the first keep. Dropping rather quickly. DeWitt doing what he can to stall. They're still waiting on the Yrel. Here comes Jimmy. Here comes Yrel. Kel'Thuzad is up as well. He did not use his phylactery. And with all of Zul'jin up, that was Jimmy opting not to push the core. Smart call. They're just going to pull out. Try to get some more property damage done here. If they can snag a second keep, that would really help their lane pressure. Here goes another front wall down. Here comes the dragon towards the keep again. Root from Deckard Cain missing. That Dragon Knight dropping quick, but here comes a chain. There's the pull from Kel'Thuzad. There's the ult follow-up, and Yrel able to pop Argent Defender. Heals completely back to full. And Garrosh probably gets punted away. ETC is deep. Dahaka is deep. The Dragon Knight doing what it can to zone out. Only 1 second left, and Zul'jin on their heels here. Massive stay a while from Deckard, though. 20 not yet online. Big mosh from ETC, but he is going to die in the process from the core. Dahaka getting a little greedy. That was Jimmy needs to back out here. The heal's not going to come up in time. Dahaka's going to drop, and that was Jimmy getting a little too greedy there. They had the advantage, but they were fighting right under the core, and it backfired for them there. So once again, Zul'jin pulls out a team fight that was not in their favor. Swung it in their favor. Played very well, and they have their level 20s online. And this is where it can be fun. Yrel opting for Word of Glory, so now her Ardent Defender is going to heal her entire team. Which means one Kel'Thuzad combo into the Ardent Defender, like you saw a minute ago, could heal everybody back up almost to full. Titanic Might from Garrosh. He's going to be throwing 2 people now. Genji is opting to hold. Bottomless Flash from Deckard. Jimmy is holding as well. Bruisers taken by both teams. Siege Giants taken by both teams. Bruiser still up on Zul'jin's side. Nice job getting the lane pressure in that bottom to slow down those bottom waves. Top or middle lane being pushed by 2 catapults. As that was Jimmy opts to back up, play defense here. As the camps and Zul'jin Distillery make their way in. Genji finally opting for Sharpen Star. Shuriken will pierce. And Jimmy going with the execute to follow up on the Deckard slows. There's the piercing damage from Genji right there. Getting some good spread. Yrel has started the top bruiser camp, and the catapults are pushing on the core, with a third one coming up right behind them and another wave to help. Zul'jin getting prepped. They're looking for something here. Both teams looking for something. Both teams camping out in the bushes. Yrel is able to get back and clean up those catapults as the bruiser camps meet at the top lane. Bottom shrine going to, that was Jimmy. Zul'jin hiding in the bushes again. That was Jimmy looking for him, dancing around. They've got the lane pressure. Here comes Zul'jin making the run in. Oh, what beautiful rhymes. Garrosh does have the double throw. There's ET slide. There's the mosh pit. He hits Uriel. He hits Jimmy. DeWitt is low, and the others walk into it. Isolation spread on the whole back line. Big sleep coming out, but everybody is immediately woken up. That was Jimmy getting the pick off they need here, getting the fight. Down goes Genji, and this should be game on the side of That Was Jimmy as they push on in. They've got catapults right behind them. They've got a 5-2 advantage. Game number 2 should be in their favor. We will be having a game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Get hyped, get ready. Unless Jimmy just pulls something out here, we are going to game number 3 between Zul'jin Distillery and That Was Jimmy. GG. Game number 2 is complete. Let's take a look at the final stats here. As you see the GGs there on the side of the teams. And what a well-played game on the side of That Was Jimmy that time. Playoffs on the line. They're able to pull it out. Able to hit those combos that I was telling you about. The Kerrigan and Kel'Thuzad, just such a devastating combo. Add in the Mosh, and they just had so much lockdown with so much burst. The Deckard's potions just weren't enough. So looking at the final stats here, Kel'Thuzad with 174,000 siege damage. I have a feeling he was in the... I believe he was in the Dragon once or twice. Kerrigan and Dahaka right behind him. 47,000 damage from Kerrigan. Kel'Thuzad right behind her. Getting 8 kills on the side of Kerrigan. 50,000 healing out of Alex Strauza. 130,000 roughly damage soaked by ETC and Dahaka for their team. On the side of Zul'jin Distillery, Genji with top siege and top damage. No kills though. Deckard with 52,000 healing. Uriel with 15,000 supplemental healing from her trait and the talent associated with it. 130,000 on the side of Uriel and Garrosh as well for damage soaked, and Uriel and Dahaka are top lane solo laners with the top soak in the game. 16 kills to 5 in favor of That Was Jimmy. We will be back here shortly. We are going to get game number 3, find out what people are going to want to do as we jump on into it very shortly. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We've got an exciting game 3 coming up.
We got That Was Jimmy on the blue team, Water Snake on that Alexstrasza, Everstorm on the Uriel, Hit Dog on that Cassia, Pidgelock on the ETC, Bridge Keeper on that Hanzo.
Level 16 acquired, but here comes the Sabo coming out, and Grace gets just completely blown up. Johanna going to be taken down, and That Was Jimmy just walking in and taking 3.
They are poking them out. One stun going out. This is might play right into their hands. A big corruption stack. Zagara gets deleted. Big fear on 3 members. Putting Jaina in the opposite team fight. You know, I mean, they could say, yeah, we can wait for 20, or we can just win this game now.
Lightning Breath coming out, as well as Horrify, and Phoenix will be the first to die there again. Is Rice dying as well to Whitening? And Jaina losing her life as Spork tries to get out, but he's slowed basically everything unloaded onto Diablo.
Big finder, that is a pyro. Arthas will actually just rip Syndragosa into Scam. That's actually a really nice combo. Wit's trying to go in here, but dang, they're just gonna get cleaned up. Don't have the level 10s. Can they make it 4? They just might. Indeed it is.
They start out 4-0.
Season 4 at Lubu, and yep, that was Jimmy.
And that's GG. But that was Jimmy winning game 1.
On the right-hand side, we have Zul'jin Distillery. Down here at the bottom, we see Ankle Shot on the Jaina. Be Fresh will be playing the Grey Mane. Let a Star on Malfurion. Playing that Urel in the solo lane will be Cowboy Kyle. And the tank duty will be for the captain of this team as well, D-Wit.
The big stun onto Blue Scene. He has nowhere to go, the old man. The root, the damage. Say goodbye to Bancho because they have all been annihilated. This is a bloodbath.
There's the pick on the Sonya, leaving with the first reset here of this fight. Big arrow on the 2 members here. Murden very forward. Stairwell, listen, going to connect as well to buy some time. Iceman blows up along with that Lily.
Remember, Wood League only needs one of these to be converted, but without the hockey here, he's a little late. Horrify connecting on some, but look at that Ring of Frost. They get a double kill. Hanzo and Gul'dan are down, and it's Acheron backing up, getting that life binder from Alexstrasza. But topside, look at the Haka. Can Greymane get here in time? B-Fresh has to interrupt this and does. Kavlor not able to convert it as the pushback from running in it as well as a huge play of the game, but it's not enough, and it's converted by Zul'jin Distillery. So they're gonna get Thrall. He's dead as well. There is a Purification Salvo, and now you're really talking. If you're Wood League, this is exactly what you need, but they also have to kill the catapults. They're gonna start throwing some damage out, and with the catapult pressure here, ladies and gentlemen, the 2-0 tonight will go in favor of Zul'jin Distillery.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have a game number 3 coming down between number 3, that was Jimmy, and the wild card weekend upset boys, Zul'jin Distillery. We have everybody in the lobby. Game number 3 will be played on Volskaya Foundry. This time, that was Jimmy getting that pick as Zul'jin Distillery opting for first pick. So here we go. We're going to get right on into this. Here we go, here we go. what do the teams have in store for this one? We've seen Kerrigan Kel'Thuzad. We've seen Stitches Nazebo. We've seen all kinds of crazy things. I am looking forward to this. Get hyped, get ready. We are going to game number 3.
Volskaya Industries.
So Zoljin gonna have first ban here as we go into this. Let's see, do they respect the Kel'Thuzad? Thank you, Hector. I've been slowly getting better with every cast. I've been honestly watching other people's broadcasts, seeing what I can do to improve. I am looking forward to this. White Mane and ETC banned out immediately on both sides. So no mosh fit this time around, especially on such a tight little map. Or point, I should say. And once again, shout out to Tootie over at twitchtv.tootiemoss. He made those hype videos for the teams. Be sure to give him a big thank you. He does wonderful work. And I look forward to doing Eastern Finals and the Grand Finals with him here for Division D. All the way through. The two of us. So Kerrigan getting banned this time. And Asmodee have banned as well. So no Asmo, no Kerrigan. Respect bans all around, but Stitches has made it through again. So let's see what happens here. Zoljin opting to go with Deckard here for their first pick. What does That Was Jimmy do here? Alex, always a big priority here on this map. Deckard is a strong healer on this map as well. Johanna making it through finally for That Was Jimmy. She is picked up here before the third ban. I'm curious if Zoljin's going to go ahead and grab Stitches and get him in there before he can be banned out, or if he's going to be let through. No, we've got Garrosh and Hammer early on. Very early Sergeant Hammer coming out. How does Jimmy want to answer that? Chromie is one of your options. Gul'dan's a good option. Kerrigan was an option. I'm curious to see how they do here. They could steal Stitches as well. If they can bait out the Unstoppable before the hook, they can always get the pull on Hammer that way. We will see what they have to answer here, but they're opting to ban the Yrel. Kel'Thuzad was banned as well, so absolutely nothing for Jimmy from game number 2 to make it through here. Full respect on the side of Zoljin. So here we go. That was Jimmy looking at their third bans. Here comes Chromie and Leoric. I love me some Chromie. So Leo and Chromie leaving one DPS pick for That Was Jimmy. Chromie always a great answer to the hammer. She has been recently buffed back up a little bit, so her damage output is better than it was and sustainable now. Phoenix and Arthas coming out finally for Zoljin Distillery, so a throw into the Arthas root and a hammer, and Phoenix just wailing away on people. That sounds incredibly scary. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. And we have Jaina wrapping it up. So we've got a double mage comp coming out of Zoljin Distillery. I'm sorry, that was Jimmy going with the double mage comp. I don't know if I agree with that. It is a lot of blow-up potential, though, so if they can make it work, maybe a nice entomb. I could see it. I don't know if I agree with it, though. Phoenix has some really good range. So does Hammer. Here we go. The drafts are underway. I'm going to have to go with, based off the draft, I'm going to have to give it to Zoljin going into this one. What do y'all think? Let me know in the chat as the poll goes through. Here very shortly, we are loading in. CGD is famous for that hammer. If you caught the Lubu game last week, she did some work. I think if that was Jimmy can get 1 to 2 man in Tomb, followed up with Blessed Shield and the Jaina Chromie Burst, then they have a real good shot of taking this game. But they've got to do it without losing players to being thrown by Garrosh. At the same time, we are underway here. Game number 3. Everybody get hype. We've got our starting teams here. Bridgekeeper going to be on the Jaina. Hit Dog on the Chromie. Water Snake on Alex Straza. Dresden on the Leoric. And chilling at the start there, Vardic on the Johanna. Over on the side of Zul'jin Distillery, we've got Led Astaire on the Deckard. D-Wint on Garrosh again. Be Fresh on the Phoenix. Nutcracker with the Arthas. And Cowboy Kyle is going to be on the Hammer. We've got 2 dragons. We've got robots and dead guys and old men and tanks. We've got Crusaders and snow. We've got everything in this one. I'm looking forward to it. And just as I've seen them do before, Zul'jin Distillery parking the Hammer up in a lane away from that was Jimmy, zoning it out with the Garrosh and the Deckard. She's going to start whittling away at that top camp. The Chromie's there immediately, but there's a potion already underneath her to just soak up the damage. And that's the power of Deckard and Hammer, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Damage almost negligible there. But D-Wint getting low. He's going to have to get some drinks out of Deckard and from the fountain. So the rotations are underway. The bottom lane tango, this time between Leoric and Arthas, who does go with Frost Presence. So we're not going to see the solo lane Arthas build as Cowboy Kyle sets up again. He's just a little out of range. They're going to have to reposition. But that first tower is going to go down, and yet again, Chromie's doing the damage, but Deckard's just piling potions underneath Cowboy Kyle, and the damage is negligible. But she is getting those free stacks. They're going to keep the rotation down. They did get 1 for it. Hammer going to opt to stay in that solo lane. We'll bring the poll back up shortly as y'all get your votes in. Poll will be open about till the first objective comes online. There's still plenty of potions in the top lane for Hammer, but she's just going to have to back up there. Both teams doing a good job rotating. Both teams have taken their fortification camps. We will see how this goes. Taking a look at the early quest, Chromie at 6 on Sandblast, and she opted for Deep Breathing at level 1. Garrosh getting the throw on Chromie. She is going to get rooted, but Garrosh getting the time stop there. As that was Jimmy moves in for some kills here. Let's see if they can pull it off. Unstoppable coming from Garrosh. He's going to waddle away there, but not before Chromie can dish out some damage. Still always interesting to see Deep Breathing taken. It is much more predictable now. Myself, I tend to go with the stacking sand at level 1. It increases the damage of your clone. Helps you stack it a little bit faster, and you're not reliant on lockdown from your team to hit those W's. But both builds work. He does take Draconic Barrage for his level 2 talent, followed by Dragon's Eye. So Garrosh dropping dangerously low here. Gonna get picked off by the Chromie, and there, forget what I said, the extra damage came in handy there as the center of Dragon's Eye doing the damage that it needs to do. Could have gone Sylvanas to counter push, but down here, Leo already on the point. He's in trouble. Let's take a final look at our poll here. What did everybody decide? As that was Jimmy does take that support camp there. Justin dropping dangerously low. Here comes the damage out of Jaina. Hammer just sitting in the back, chunking away at people's health, but Zul'jin is going to be driven off here early as Crummy wraps up. Deep breathing here. Forget what I said, she is making it work. Zul'jin doing a very good job, or that was Jimmy doing a very good job zoning the point against a hammer. Crummy and Jaina David just doing some work. Down goes Arthas, down goes Garrosh. And this early game is going in favor of that was Jimmy. His hammer drops as well. So the double down goes Phoenix. The double mage working out very well. For that was Jimmy. They're going to push in this middle fort first, opting to finally back out as Zul'jin comes back around. And for yet again, the poll deciding to break when I want it most. Zul'jin is surely picked by the audience, 66% to 33%. Let's see how it goes from here. Ladies and gentlemen, Game 3 is underway with a blast to start as it is 5 kills to 0 in favor of that was Jimmy. They do get the top well, securing the advantage on that top lane for that second objective. As they finally back out, Chromie sitting at 17 stacks. She did finish deep breathing earlier. She is taking temporal loop. Going to be pulling people back to her. Jaina at 46,000 on Frostbite. Garrosh at 2 on Warbreaker. 10 on the Frost Present from Arthas. And only 14 from Advanced Targeting on Phoenix. Level 10 ults are online for that was Jimmy. We've got temporal loop from the level 8 from Chromie. Summon Water Elemental from Jaina. Entomb coming out of Leoric. Lifebinder on the side of Alex. And Blessed Shield out of Joe. So opting for the Elemental for the extra slow as they've got plenty of lockdown from their ults. I still would like to see Ring. I love me some Ring. Zul'jin doing what they can to soak and get caught up. As that was Jimmy going to take the support camp here. Zul'jin not going to be able to do much to fight it out. Hammer sees it and then it decides to zip on away before she can get caught. Down in the bottom lane, Leoric is being surrounded. He gets frozen. He's going to Wraith Walk away. Ever just so barely dodging the Deckard route there. And Zul'jin rotating back up now. Level 10 should be coming on for them any second. Here's the rewind going on the Phoenix. He's got no shields. Down he goes. All of the Deckard potions doing what they can, but he finally drops as Johanna gets on in there. Bridgekeeper is low. The support beacon going down. DeWitt is low. Here comes the burst. Deckard is not good, doing well here on the burst. The potions can only do so much, can only come out so fast as Chromie is just stacking the damage on. Jaina gets the kill on Arthas. And so far, that was Jimmy looking very strong here. Second point will be coming up very shortly. That was Jimmy opting to push here on the fort. They have the advantage of numbers. Leo getting the drain hope there. Gonna take down this well as well. Big push pushing top. Fort is down in the middle. Well is down in the middle. The advantage is going more and more into the favor of that was Jimmy. And this is one of those maps where it snowballs really quick as the towers drop. Jaina getting tossed, so she doesn't have Ice Block yet. The Entomb separating the team out, actually catching their own Leoric. They're going into it himself to help finish him off, and Hammer goes down as well. Phoenix in the backline, Rewind is up. Down he goes as well. I call it Rewind, it's Temporal Loop, I apologize. And Chromie opting for time out here. She's not quite done with her Sandblast. That's a good choice with the Garrosh throws. Of course, it's always fun if you can finish your Chromie stacks and you get your swap ability to get thrown by Garrosh and just swap right back. It's always fun to hearth and swap back as well. Right to where your team needs you. It can be very nice on a point to go back, top off your mana, and just come right back. But here we go. They did invade and steal the Brute Siege Camp from Zul'jin Distillery side. Leoric on the point, going to be starting that up here soon. That was Jimmy looking very strong at the moment. Zul'jin is still down a talent tier here. Looking for Chromie in the middle. She's in trouble. She's got to avoid the garage. She's thrown. She's taunted. She's not going to be able to get her invulnerability off in time. Down she goes. That's a pick that was needed, but Phoenix drops immediately. And they got the pick, but it wasn't worth the life of Phoenix. Leo's sitting at 50% up on that top objective right now. Both fortification camps are up. Zul'jin Distillery is still down 3 levels at this point. As Jaina and Alex make their way over to the siege camp, Zul'jin's going to rotate up, knowing they have the numbers advantage, at least in the top lane. Leo backing up, Joe backing up. Leo's just going to get on out of there. They got it to 88%. They have time to let everybody regather. Chromie is on her way back up. Leo is thrown. Taunted, doesn't have Wraithwalk up, or he's not using it. Nutcracker low on the Arthas, so he's entombed. Here comes the Phoenix ult, though. Arthas is dropping Decker's chunking potion down as fast as he can. Rewind from the Chromie is going to take out the Phoenix. Temporal Loop doing work on right now. His hammer drops as well. And right now, Zul'jin has no answer to the Chromie and the Jaina. Absolutely no answer to it. They're doing what they can. Garrosh trying to get in there and throw them back. But the Entombed from the Org doing such a great job zoning out and blocking any kind of escape that Garrosh and Arthas might have afterwards. And we have the second Protector underway. Did its superhero landing. And here comes an early keep push from Zul'jin, from That Was Jimmy. Gonna get this fort, or these tower walls down here. Down goes the tower. Weld is dropping really quick. So the double mage working so far for That Was Jimmy, and it's working well. Entomb on the hammer, she's in trouble. But the biggest burst to her is in the Protector right now, but the Protector's going to take care of it for them. Down goes Hammer. 15 kills to 1. Make that 16. That Was Jimmy's going to be up 16 to 2 and 16 to 12 in levels here. Down goes Alex. She dies to the fort. So Zul'jin does secure another kill, but it's thanks to the fort. That Was Jimmy pulling out. They've got a 16 to 13 lead. The Protector down to 9 seconds. They're just going to walk this thing away and clean up the middle and bottom lanes.
The Protector is overloaded. My team will begin repairs.
Vardic getting some fort tower damage there. Buddy is going to take out that bottom wheel, which is going to secure the advantage again. That Zul'jin Distillery up here going to try to snag the support camp while they have the chance. Trying to get everything they can in their favor. As That Was Jimmy takes the fortification camp. So That Was Jimmy with the talent advantage. Looking to get in here and get another fight going while they can. Here comes Leoric. The Entomb misses on the garage. He's going to have to Wraith walk on out of there, and that's probably what they were looking for there, is to get one pick into the Entomb, and it's not going to happen. Vardic kiting them down towards the fortification camp. Alex's Flames starting it, and they're actually going to take it. They know they have the advantage. Zul'jin can't really push in at the moment. Time stop is down for the extra zoning. It's going to die to the Hammer and Napalm. Speaking of which, in all the action, we forgot the ults for Zul'jin Distillery. We've got Purification Salvo, as you've seen. We've seen the Warlord's Challenge. We've seen the Syndra Ghost. So we've seen Napalm, and have not seen Lornado yet, unless I missed it. And That Was Jimmy getting another camp. There it is. There's your Lornado. And That Was Jimmy just painting the map blue. Kills 16 to 2. Core pressure is underway. Cleaned up pretty quick. At the moment, That Was Jimmy just doing what they need to do, staying on the XP lead, getting the camps, getting the turrets. In fact, their own turret will be back up in about 1 minute. They're going to opt to hold the siege camp here, waiting until they know that it can safely push. As they begin the trek down, I'd like to see them go ahead and rotate down and start pushing in. They know where Zul'jin is. If you can get this fort early on, while Zul'jin's still rotating down. Phoenix dying to Kramer and Chromie in the mid lane. I'm not sorry, Hammer, but Jane. Ladies and gentlemen, I know how to talk, I swear. Dying to Johanna and Chromie in the middle lane, and that's going to hurt Zul'jin even more. There's a pause by DeWitt. Not sure why. We are going to start the timer, though. We have a brief pause here. While we do, let's jump back over here. And they are back. They had a broken keyboard. Both teams are ready. Or let's get the ready from them. Got the ready from, that was Jimmy. DeWitt was ready. There's the ready from Zul'jin Distillery. 3, 2, 1. We are back in action here. And so, 18 to 15 for the levels, 17 to 2 for the kills. That was Jimmy looking very on point. At the moment, they are going to push this bottom fort. They have the advantage. That's just going to help them here as the next protector comes online. Especially if they can win it, as Zul'jin's still looking for 16. And the point coming online now, at this point, Zul'jin Distillery is going to have to make a call here. Do they fight for it? Or do they just keep soaking and once they get 16, try to get even closer? They're going to have to come down as soon as they hit 16. They're going to leave Water Snake behind as they're going to move in on Arthas. He's going to fire a Rudolph as a warning shot. Shakes his rattle dangerously. And off they back up again. Level 16s are online. Here comes Zul'jin Distillery. Going to grab their fortification camp on the way. And that was Jimmy just hanging out, waiting. They almost could have snuck up and gotten a third turret. Let's see if Zul'jin does it. As they're sitting at 75% now, Zul'jin needs to get ready to pressure in here. Here comes the Chromie with a big hit there on Deckard. Then Tomb down on the backline. Hammer and Garage Trap. Down goes Deckard. Down goes Alex. So DeWitt on the rewind. Gets blown up by the Chromie. Arthas is dropping as well. Jaina down. Johanna down. This fight is going every direction possible. Leoric trying to get over to Chromie. He's going to opt not to. She falls as well. There's a time stop from the conveyor belt. And Zul'jin once again. Numbers down. Dropping players early and turning a fight around. 99% in favor of that was Jimmy. Zul'jin Distillery has the point at the moment. Leoric opting to take their fortification camp. But Jimmy has time to go up, snag the support camp, get some extra pressure in. Possibly. Take that back. They're not going to. They're not going to have everybody up in time. We'll see if Leo comes down and tries to stall as it hits 50%. Alex is coming up shortly. Almost the death's a little too staggered. Leo very low on health. He's not going to be able to finish that fortification camp, and he's going to have to hearth. This should be going Zul'jin's way at this point. They get the fight they needed here. As long as that top lane doesn't get too pressured. Here comes, that was Jimmy though. They're all up. They're making the push in. They're not going to get there in time. 98, 99. Here comes the Protector. Superhero landing, and Zul'jin has their first Protector at the 17-minute mark. This thing can do some damage. Arthas is driving. Who's going to jump into the gunner? They need the extra damage. Get that thing to full power, Zul'jin. Somebody hop in there. There it is. Both tanks in there. That could be a bad thing as the Entomb goes down on the hammer. But the Protector just doing so much damage. Jaina having to pop the Icebox. Dresden is low. Leoric goes down. Getting the Entomb right on top of the Protector wasn't very favorable. The thing deals so much damage. Chromie with the multiple time stops for her final ult, just pumping them all over the place, keeping that Protector away. As the time stop for whatever reason, does affect vehicles. Fort is going to go down, so that was Jimmy going to get a good hold here. Only losing the Orc and the Fort in the fight. Phoenix had to leave to go clean up. So both teams rotating about now. 40 seconds still on a 7% health protector. It's going to see if he can at least get the towers here. It does. But it goes down. Here comes Jaina. There's the Entomb on the Arthas, and complete with the silence. And Arthas is going to go down here. Oh no, Synderghost getting out. Going to slow down. That was Jimmy, but the damage is still coming, and Hammer finally falls as Arthas is able to get out of this. And Garage is going to fall, so Chromie's ult wasted, but never a bad thing. You still secured the kill. And there's a pause this time from Led Astaire. So we have another pause here. So we have dead batteries on the side of Zildjian Distillery. They have a 14-minute leeway from the first pause. We got the timer going. So, Wildcard Weekend champions upset Kings right now. Zildjian Distillery finding themselves on the back foot, but I agree with Chet. Jimmy had so much time they could have done more in that top lane. Push with those camps. At this point, they are making the push in, but level 20 is online, though 2 are down for Zildjian Distillery. So, what can happen here? Zildjian's going to have to back up, play it safe. They're more than likely going to at least lose these front towers, possibly the keep if the pressure is strong enough out of that was Jimmy. Fire the gunner, no charging the Q. Oh man. So while we wait, let's go ahead and pop up the bracket again. Here's how things look right now for the eastern side. Division D West, I believe, kicks off playoff action tomorrow. But the winner of this will be facing United East in the finals for the eastern side. Still waiting on batteries for Zildjian Distillery. And now we've lost Bridgekeeper in the wait. So now we have a DC on the side of... That was Jimmy. Game 3 hype. Game 3 hype. So that was Jimmy. We'll have roughly 10 minutes left for their last pause. But we've lost Bridgekeeper in the process. So we will start their timer. He is back. Both teams are back. Both teams are ready. Let's get this Game 3 final going. So nice little lull. The break is over. We are back in action here. That was Jimmy going to take the top siege camp, and they're going to make a push here. They've got roughly 30 to 40 seconds to do what they can, what they want rather. With Entomb and Lifebinder up. Arthas is back up, or he Hearth rather. He did survive that last fight. Root coming out on the Leoric. Here comes the Phoenix ult. And Bridgekeeper DC'd again, but it's not going to matter as Arthas is killed. And Zul'jin's going to make the final push. Core is dropping. Shields are down 58%. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner. It's going to be Zul'jin. Oh my god. It is going to be That Was Jimmy taking game number 3 after a massive pause break. But game number 3 does go in their favor. So That Was Jimmy getting the win. Taking out the upset kids. Zul'jin Distillery, unfortunately, their season is over. That is the end for them. Very, very good games, very entertaining games, very close matches. But in the end, That Was Jimmy who got what they wanted, did what they needed to, and finished it off. Taking a look at the final stats here. We have Jaina on top across the board for Zul'jin, for That Was Jimmy. I have done this all night. For That Was Jimmy. Topping hero and siege damage at 98,000 siege, 61,000 hero damage, and 12,000 XP even. Alex Strauss with 54,000 healing, 63,000 damage soaked by Leoric, 58,000 damage soaked by Johanna. Sergeant Hayward topping siege and hero damage on the side of Zul'jin Distillery, 100,000, 48,000 respectively. A solid 118,000 damage soaked by Garrosh and Arthas, with Arthas leading the way in XP for Zul'jin. Deckard with 69,000 healing, getting all that healing out there, all those potions out. It just wasn't enough for the burst of Chromie and Jaina with that Entomb combo. And That Was Jimmy takes it 24-7 in the favor of kills. So we will see if we can get Bridgekeeper or somebody from That Was Jimmy into the game here, as the final match is over. It is 2-1 in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. And I get the overlays right here. Here we go. Let's see if we can get Bridgekeeper in here for an interview. That Was Jimmy takes it 2-1. As we wait for somebody from the side of That Was Jimmy here, enjoy some music. We'll get the final playoff bracket for Division D East up here shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I've got with me Dresden from the side of That Was Jimmy here. So, going into this, y'all are running an off-roster sub. It did get approved, so that's always a relief, not having to lose that in an unfortunate way. But you do finally take this 2-1 over the ones who are looking for another upset, Zul'jin Distillery. But let's start with game number 1, Dresden. You were running Varian. It was on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Zul'jin Distillery ran a comp that everybody in chat recognized. Everybody in chat seemed to have suffered at some point. The Stitches Nazebo Stukov combo. How did y'all feel going into that match?
I thought we got a little overconfident when we saw the Stitches Nazebo. Maybe a little bit. But I think my biggest complaint about that match was I just didn't feel great about the Varian pick. Like, I'm happy to play it. It was a small map. I could be there when my team needed me. But I think versus Stitches, I may have had a better option. The boss throw was also rather unfortunate.
Yeah, speaking from experience, they pulled the same thing on us in Wildcard Weekend. That's exactly the comp they ran to beat us. So when I saw that coming out, it was not looking good for y'all. They apparently have run it quite a bit. They pulled it off quite well. They did get that final fight, though, right there in the boss pit throw. Leoric snuffed y'all out, and y'all just decided to stick around. What was the call there?
It was just a bunch of miscommunication. We wanted to take boss. We did have the numbers advantage, if I remember correctly.
You did. It was 5v3.
It was 4v3 because Diablo had not returned. He had come back, but he was returning.
Okay. Yes, you would be right.
And because we had Ana, we had the position strangely in the fight, and I was low for the boss battle.
Yes.
From the previous team fight, so I couldn't just take the hook without dying, probably.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Anno's the one who got hooked, and
Yeah.
she's not going to get out of that. There's just no way. Her self-healing is not strong enough. But,
It's basically negligible.
yep, she can't shoot them fast enough. So, unfortunately, game number 1 went to Zul'jin Distillery. How are y'all feeling after that? You decided to go with first pick again as well.
We felt pretty confident because we knew that if we lost the first game, we would learn from it. I mean, we did. We banned Stitches in the second game and did pretty well.
Yeah. And y'all seem to... you almost have caught Wildcard Weekend or the Lubu match last week, I guess, would be the right one to talk about, because banning out Hammer in the first set of rounds, you probably had an idea what was coming on Dragonshire.
Yes. We had an idea that they were going to try to play Hammer, especially since they beat Lubu with it. Coming up to this week, I was looking into who I could play that would be pretty good against Hammer, and Leoric was one of the ones that I decided that I should play.
I agree.
Leoric worked very well in that last game.
It did. The Orc pulled it out well, and the double mage comp as well on the Sergeant Hammer. That was game number 3. And I'm getting told to turn you up. I guess I have my auto you turned down a little bit. Give me just a second here, ladies and gentlemen. It is probably on my end, not yours. Boom, let's skyrocket you to 200%. Say something. Say hello again.
Hello.
Yeah, you're good. All right, going back, game number 2, though, it was on Dragonshire. They picked that map as well. Ban out the Hammer, ban out the Stitches, and you guys able to get Kerrigan and Kel'Thuzad, which is a combo I am very fond of myself. It's such a fun combo to run. You were able to get both of them there. How did y'all feel going into that, knowing you got the Kerrigan, you got the Kel'Thuzad, and you had a mosh pit to follow it all up?
The second game was very much, we had Kerrigan, and then on top of that, the ETC and the KT were just great picks for our people. I personally thought we were going to do very well, especially since we had a Dahaka, so we had more global presence than a Urel. And if they didn't win early, I didn't think they had as much of a chance in that game.
No, and you guys got the Kel'Thuzad stacked pretty quick. I think it took them 8 to 10 minutes. So it worked out for y'all there. Lots of team fights, lots of bloodshed in that game. Both ways, though. I mean, all the team fights in that second match were very good. But yet again, they find that point in that bottom lane. Just as they did to y'all in game one, they had the numbers down, and they turned the team fight around on y'all again. What was y'all's thinking after that happened? Were y'all just like, okay, let's back up, regroup? Or were you like, oh crap, here we go again?
Usually we back up, regroup. It's rare that we actually panic. I think the biggest point for us though in that second game was when we saw the comp and we saw our comp, we brought up a Genji ban because we looked at the Alex and the KT and said Genji would be pretty devastating. But once the comp for their team came through, we realized that their burst, like their poke damage, was just far inferior to ours. So the chance of Genji actually having a low health target to assassinate was very low.
Yeah, and it worked out for y'all there. So game number 3, off we went to Volskaya. Y'all's record, I believe there was well in the 70s, 70% range, so it was definitely one of y'all's better maps. And right off the bat, they went for that hammer early, and you guys had the answer this game. As you said, you had the Leoric, and you're in the double mage. Jaina, Chromie, very bursty, especially if they can both get close. Were y'all wary of the garage pick again?
I think when we saw the garage pick, I think we changed it up a little bit because of that. But we just didn't want Garrosh and Arthas getting close to our front line to just make our lives easier, so that they couldn't throw us out of position. And a few things changed because of that. But because we managed to think of a solution, we solved the problem.
That y'all did. Water Elemental over Ring of Frost, did y'all feel like you just had enough lockdown and you wanted to secure the slows?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The only person I was not comfortable in locking down in that game was Phoenix, just because of his teleport.
Yeah. No, y'all made it work. You had some very nice entombs from you. Great follow-up from the Chromie and the Jaina. Everything just went y'all's way. You steamrolled it early, and you just guys looked very, very dominant in game number 3. And then we had all the pauses.
Yes.
Big
the
hype.
first pause, it just reminded me, it made me feel it from the other side, because we've had a few pauses on our end before due to various problems. But it's very jarring when it happens to you from the other team, when you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Especially when it happens twice.
So, well done, though. You guys take game number 3. You will be fighting United East. I believe that is a rematch, and y'all drew 1-1, I believe, when y'all met in the season. I
Don't know.
don't remember.
I'm not one of the main lineup.
I can tell you here in just a second. I believe it's but it is a rematch. I know y'all played. I believe y'all played in round 3, actually. Or round 4. But they upset number 1 Wood League last night. So it is number 4 versus number 3 going into the Eastern Finals. Y'all did draw the Found Vikings in round 4. Anything y'all are looking forward to in that match against them, or y'all just ready to finish this thing out and head on to the finals?
I think they're ready to finish it out and head off to the finals.
Well, Dresden, it's been a pleasure. Good luck to y'all going into the Eastern Conference, Eastern Division, I guess would be the proper term there, Eastern Division Finals against United East next week. It'll be cast by myself and Tootie over at Tootie Moss on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Dresden, thanks for hopping in here for an interview. Go enjoy your night. Go celebrate with the boys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 complete. 2-1. That was Jimmy over Zul'jin Distillery. Not quite able to pull the upset off this time around. But that is it for tonight. Tune in next week with Division D East Division Finals between That Was Jimmy and United East. And tune in the rest of the week for the Division D West matches. We will see who will be going to the Western Division Finals. on that side. As always, I'm Mystic. Thanks for tuning in to NGS Action, and y'all have a wonderful night.